What is your take on cryptocurrencies?
Well, let's say it's a field that we are looking from very close. And so first of all, I think we have spent quite some time in trying to understand what's happening, because at the end of the day, it's much more complex than what it looks. I would describe it as is basically sharing certificates and making sure that even though there is not one entity controlling it, because it is shared on everybody's entities, there is no need for control because you cannot change it. So I think this is a complex or easy way of saying it, but at the same time, let's say where it becomes then very, very complex is, okay, how do you create cryptos, how you create a Bitcoin, who is controlling what? On one side, thinking that well, nobody knows who has invented Bitcoin, or nobody is the owner of Bitcoin, etc. I think, of course, what is very scary is the fact when we look at the fluctuation of Bitcoin. I mean, from 100 to 1,000 and back to 100, then to 700, and now to 20, and now back to 14. So, I mean, it's 14,000. It's really very difficult to understand. But I think what is, for us, more interesting to look at right now is, on one side is what is happening with cryptocurrencies and behind cryptocurrencies. So on one side, for the time being, I mean, the major credit cards don't have a card in cryptocurrencies, and probably will not have it so quickly because, let's say, the whole clearing and settlement would be a major challenge. There are too many things which are not clear. So this is still something which moves a little bit on the side. But where cryptocurrencies or the networks behind the cryptocurrencies are very interesting is that this very fast exchange of information and being able to move on different channels away from SWIFT or from other traditional money exchange systems will bring to the fact that we will see lots of new areas where big banks or a Visa or a MasterCard or all the names that you can have behind will basically create their own channels and their own cryptocurrency, or cryptocurrency maybe not even being money, but just being transportation means of information. And this is something that I already have seen the first tests, which are very interesting. Of course, it will change. The world will change. I believe that we will see in the next 2-3 years more and more crypto or something similar to crypto coming also into the world of cards, but it will not be probably Bitcoin coming in the next time. It will more be, as I said, the backbones turning and running on that, and the payment will still be in local currencies that we know, because this is what the customer is used to. When we think about apps, where now there were some talks that at least 200 apps that are present on the App Store of Google or Apple basically are listening to what you're saying. We don't know what is happening with all the information that, let's say, intelligent devices like Alexa and other home appliances that are listening to what you say because they are doing something, of course, but when you need them to do something is one thing, but what happened with all the rest they're listening to? On one side, we can believe that things will be protected, but is it really the case? And even when it is very obvious and very open that your information is used, I would say, you were talking earlier about young kids. I mean, how many young kids are aware of what's happening on social media? For me, privacy is something quite important. I see many young people for whom privacy doesn't matter. So we have different values, and I'm not sure that we will really be able to have a complete control of information, because even though we might define how can information be used, we're talking about the present, and we're talking about a subset of players and companies. I'm not sure that this will apply to everything. The question is, what is data? And if data is something like something that can be defined in a relatively easy way, because you might be able at the end of the day to link a price to it, and a price which is clear to everybody. Let's say if it was miles, or it was some sort of points that you have received left, right and center. This, yes. When we talk about personal data, the question is, well, if a company tells you tomorrow, if I can make use of your profile, I'm going to give you the equivalent of 100 francs. Maybe yes, but I think we can just be, again, part of it, and we can be facilitator. Let's say every new car, basically you are tracked because your position is known in every second. You might even have the app of the car that tells you where the car is parked. Of course, when you have an accident, or let's hope not to have accident, but should you have an accident, of course, you might be happy that these people tracking your car and constantly monitoring what is happening are going to immediately contact you or call an ambulance or whatever. So the point is, in that moment, of course, being tracked is positive. In other moments, it might not be so good. So I think it's really difficult to define how much am I willing to share and how much am I not willing to share. The mobile phone is the same example. I mean, is it okay that people know where I am? But then you see it in all devices that you can also say, okay, I can create my private group, and so I know where my friends are, where my kids are, where other people are. They know, of course, where I am. Is it good? Is it not good? I don't know. So everything has pros and cons, and I think that, unfortunately, we cannot be black and white. And this is really where we have to be careful. On the other side is also, we have a little bit the tendency today to move everything to an extreme. It is black or it is white. And I think very often we forget that there are different situations and there are different moments, and unfortunately not everything can just be taken into account by a clear rule. Thank you very much.